What kind of workouts have you been doing? You are very obviously a bigger guy than you were last time I saw you.
Just been doing the workouts here. Mostly taking care of myself a little better, getting some sleep. Eating better is the biggest thing. I've been eating a lot better, so I think that's what transformed my body a little bit from the season.
Is this, what you're looking for? I mean, is this the goal? Is to get much bigger, much more muscle?
Yeah, I'm only weighing 2 pounds more than I did during the season, but I feel better, and I feel bigger, and I feel more athletic. So I had a good couple weeks before this pro day, so I'm glad I got some work in.
It's one thing to feel good heading into it. How do you feel now that it's all over?
Relieved. Might go to Applebee's tonight or something. Gorge myself, cake or some cookies. I've been purifying myself these past couple weeks. Just fruit and stuff. I can't do that right now. So.
What's your favorite bad food to eat?
Oh man, sugar cookies. That anybody out there want to give me some sugar cookies?
Oh,
send it to
okay.
me. But definitely sugar cookies. Cause I can eat that all day.
In terms of the performance, though, you're gonna have a good meal. But how do you feel that you did today?
I think I did pretty good in the running. I don't know my times for the running yet. I'm gonna find out in the weight room. But jumping wise, I did pretty good. I want to do more in the bench, but the 20 range is good enough from what I've been hearing from people. And I think I moved well in my drills, so I think overall it was a pretty good day.
You said the 20 range. Exactly how many reps you had?
Yeah, I had 20.
Oh, you had 20. Okay. I was just talking to Pat about this, but you come into something like this, and I'm sure some of you have been training together. But to be able to go through this with teammates of yours and guys who will push you, will support you, how much does that help you?
It helps a lot. It really brought down the nerves. I was very nervous this morning, and seeing all those guys and seeing former players come back, it really made you at ease, and you were just rooting for one another. You weren't competing against one another. You were competing against yourself. So seeing those guys really helped me out a lot.
Noel comes back. I know that you were on the same team for 1 or 2 years with him. Just to see him, he said that he wanted to kind of show some leadership skills and help you guys out a little bit. But to see him come back, I mean, what did you think of his performance and just that opportunity for him another time?
Still fast as ever, but it was great to see him. Last time I seen him, I was a freshman. So see him run drills with him and just linking up one more time was just a great feeling.
When you train for an event like this, what's the difference between training for a pro day and training for a season?
Less work on your legs. When you're in college still and training for a season, you're really trying to get as strong as possible lower body wise, while this you're trying to keep your legs fresh and explosive. So pretty much the way we were training right now was kind of like how the team would train for like camp or something, but even lighter than that, like just so we could have fresh, explosive legs for the running and the jumping events.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how nervous do you think you were for this pro day?
Probably a 10.5.
Wow, that bad.
Yeah, I was especially didn't really sleep too well. I was waking up like every 30 minutes, but once I started stretching and saw everybody's here, I started getting a little better with it.
You kind of have to pinch yourself. Your 4 years went by so fast, and now you're finally at your pro days. It's kind of like a surreal moment for you.
Yeah, it feels like just yesterday I was here on that sideline watching Bruce doing his pro day, and I was like, wow, what's going to happen when I get to that point? Now it's here, now it's gone. So it went by real fast, and I'm just ready for the opportunity to the next level.
You had 3 different defensive coordinators, I believe, while you were here. Did that help or hurt you when you come to something like this and you have been through different systems, different philosophies, and all that?
It helps me overall, being able to adjust to different types of, even though it's pretty much similar in a way, different terminology and all that you have to grasp, and that's all about the NFL. A lot of jobs people go elsewhere and people get fired, so you have to pick up defenses quickly, and I think having 3 defensive coordinators really helps that.
Are you going to watch the draft at all? Do you have any place you're going to watch the draft, or are you going to stay away from that?
Oh, I mean, I always watch the draft. I just love the festivities of it. And plus, my birthday is on one of the days of the draft, so definitely just go and watch it, and hopefully I get my name called. But if not, hopefully I get a call a couple days after saying, hey, we want you on this team. So just waiting for it.
What's the birthday?
May 9th.
What veteran players, you mentioned Bruce Irving, what other veteran players have you reached out to during this process?
Mainly the linebackers. Terrence Garvin, JT Thomas, Najee, those were the main guys I reached out because they did linebacker drills, so they know what to expect and what I should be able to aim for in different types of testing. So I mainly talked to those 3.
And what player do you compare yourself most in the league now?
most in the league in general.
Yeah.
I like Lance Briggs.
Okay.
Just thinking about him, he's not the biggest dude in the world. Well, actually, he is pretty big, but you know what I'm saying. But he's just a very smart player. And JT was telling me when he played with him, he said that he wasn't talent-wise like the best linebacker, but he knew what the offense was going to do before they did it. So he made so many plays because of that. So I think I'm more Lance Briggs type.
When did you realize that this NFL stuff could become a reality? Like, what point in your life? Was it high school? Was it middle school? Was it college? When did you like, all right, I could be an NFL player?
I think maybe after my junior year, I had a pretty good season when we switched to 3-4, and I was really thinking, like, in watching film of other teams, like maybe I might be talented enough to be an NFL linebacker. I used to always think about it, but I thought those guys were just on so much of another level that maybe not. But talking to Najee and he said they're not as good as you think they are. He's like, you just got to work. So I think junior year really got me.